Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life. And today I am kicking off the week 14 reading vlog. So I ended off week 13 vlog yesterday on Sunday, and at that time I had 2 books to carry over for this week. I've got Mark Tompkins. I've got The Last Days of Magic by Mark Tompkins. I've got that much left. So I think it's just over 100 pages. I didn't quite read my 50-page section that I should have read last night, which is fine. So I should be able to finish that here in the next 2 days. And I also had I'm From the Sun by Morgan Taylor, which was a carryover. I had just under 2 hours left, I think, in the audiobook. I have since finished it. I'm giving it a 2-star rating. There's nothing super wrong with it. I'm just really not like a children's or middle grade reader. And I think I would have maybe enjoyed this book more if it were a physical book instead of an audiobook. There were a lot of fun things with the audiobook, but there was also a lot of songs, and they got redundant and just really annoying. And I was just over it by the end. So it's okay. If you could get it for free, I might recommend it, but I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it. But then again, I also don't do very many like children's or middle grade recommendations. So as of right now, I only have 1 book going. I thought about picking up another audiobook from Audible. I've got Strong Endings, which is narrated by Stephen Fry, which I think is like just under 2 hours that I could listen to tomorrow if I decide I want to. But I haven't fully committed yet to starting another audiobook. So I've been participating in 3-month-long readathons for March. We've got the Irish readathon, the Creating and Co. Shop Your Shelves readathon, and the Harry Potter and the Order of the House Pride readathon. And so I'll be wrapping those up by tomorrow. And then Wednesday, April 1st, starts the Magical Readathon OWLs. So I think I might just, for the rest of today and tomorrow, give myself a break on audiobooks, because my goal is to sit my OWLs so that I can work towards becoming an alchemist, which is one of the most difficult career pathways to choose, because you are required to finish all 12 of your OWLs. So I have a minimum of 12 books that I need to read next month. And I've got different formats. I've got audiobooks, ebooks, I've got physical books as well, and some shorter, some longer books, so quite a variety there. I think most are fantasy-based though, which is my preference for reading anyway. So we shall see how this goes. The rest of the day, I just finished practicing my violin. The rest of the day is going to be editing my April planner setup and doing a voiceover for that so that I can get that up. I'll schedule it for upload on Wednesday the 1st. And then the rest of the day, assuming I can finish that nice and early, we'll be hanging out with Skylar and probably watching The Sopranos. So I think this will probably be it for my update today, unless anything like absolutely groundbreaking happens in The Last Days of Magic, like I fly through the last 100+ pages, which is not going to happen tonight. But we'll see. So I will definitely keep you posted on if anything else happens sometime soon today. I just want to give a quick update before I start reading. I did not read any of Last Days of Magic last night like I was supposed to. So I have, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I am on page 242 last night of 377. So I've got, what is that, 135 pages left to read. So I'm going to sit down and try and power through the rest of this book tonight. Hopefully I can do it. That way, when April starts tomorrow, the OWLs, I don't have to worry about finishing this up, because I have 12 books that I need to read in April in order to be on my merry way to become an alchemist. So that's what I'm going to do right now. If you heard my phone buzz, that was Rainy, my friend Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads. We are going to start our buddy read of The Two Towers for the Lord of the Read-Along tomorrow. And that's going to count as one of my books for, what is it? Defense Against the Dark Arts, maybe, as the prompt that includes a witch or a wizard. So History of Magic might be it. I don't remember, but I think we're probably going to try and take another week to read that. So one of us will do a page breakdown or a chapter breakdown is typically what we do for what chapter we need to read through by the end of the day. So I might, in between chapters of Last Days of Magic, do that unless she wants to do it. We'll see. So that's my plan for right now. Sit down and power through as much of this book as I can. And then I'll probably take my planner out there with me and also think about what the first physical book I want to pick up after this is. It'll probably be a volume of Vampire Night, just because I would feel really good with the first 2 days of the readathon starting, getting done with one of my prompts. So I might do that just as a little bit of an ego boost, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go sit down now and figure out how fast I can read and then what I'm gonna read next, because you can't just sit there and enjoy the book you're currently reading. You always have to think about what you've got coming up next on your plate, right? So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll probably check in with you before I go to sleep tonight just about my progress and what I read. So there's that, and I will chat with you here in a little bit. Alright, so just a quick update before we go to bed. I just finished Last Days of Magic by Mark Tompkins. I've been reading it since 5:30 tonight, and it's now 10:30. I was getting distracted reading it because the neighbor kid across the street is learning to ride his bike without training wheels, so I kept watching out the window, which sounds really creepy, but it's not. So I had 135 pages to go in this book. And the pages, it's not a young adult size book, it is an adult size book. So they're a little bit bigger, a little smaller font and all that good stuff. But I powered through, finished. I'm giving it a 2-star rating. I started reading this on March 7th and I just now finished it. There was a solid week where I didn't pick it up. And there have been days in between reading it where I haven't picked it up. It was a struggle for me to get through, but I wanted to finish it because I thought it had the potential to be better than what it started out as. It just wasn't. So the story did finally come back around. We start off with a girl who's in college who gets a call or a note from her grandma saying that she needs to meet her in Belfast with these hidden pages found in some fairy tale books. And then this actual story, the bulk of the book is telling the story of the fairy tales within those. So I'm glad that my confusion at the very beginning was finally answered, but it just, I don't know, if you like Irish folklore and mythology, you might enjoy this. You just have to be careful it's set in 1390 something, so it is medieval, and when you go into it, you have to be aware and conscious that not great things happen. So there is rape, there's a lot of gore and violence, there's animal brutality, cruelty, because obviously horses and things are used in wars, and they fall just like soldiers do, and other things. I think it might be better if I had a better knowledge of Irish folklore and mythology, but I didn't, and so this was just really difficult for me to get through. But I'm done with it now. It'll be part of my March wrap-up that I film tomorrow and have up Thursday. So now I'm gonna get these pups out for a last little potty break before we go to bed, so that hopefully this one doesn't wake me up in the middle of the night like she did last night 3 times. So I'm gonna get them out, go brush my teeth, and get myself in bed. And I will check in with you tomorrow once I have picked up my books for the OWL. So I'll chat with you in the morning. I don't want that. It is day 1 of the OWL's Magical Readathon, and I already have 2 books going for 2 separate courses. I started my buddy read of Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien with Rainy today. We needed to make it up to chapter 3. So I just finished this on audiobook. This is my History of Magic prompt, which is a book that features or has a witch or wizard in it, and I'm using Gandalf the Grey for that because he is a wizard. This is a reread for me, so really glad to be back in this world and just be with the characters again. Well, I guess I won't say what's going on because some people may not have read Lord of the Rings or seen the movies, but we just finished a chapter where we are following some hobbitses, so that was good fun. Not good fun for them, but good fun for us. I also started reading or listening to Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, which is my Defense Against the Dark Arts prompt, which is for a book that takes place like on the coast or by the sea. And this is a World War II based novel. And we follow 4 different characters' points of view throughout the story. So I just started that, so I'm still getting to know the characters and things like that and what exactly is going on. I think 2 of them might be German. One of them is definitely a German soldier, but he might be a Russian soldier. I don't remember if they said. And then we've got 2 boys and 2 girls that we're following essentially. So we'll see how that goes. This is under a 9-hour audiobook, so it should be pretty quick. And then I'm planning to start Vampire Night Volume 5 in bed tonight by Matsuri Hino. Right now I'm doing laundry and uploading my March wrap-up. So once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night and be done with laundry and start Vampire Night. And right now what I really want to do is take off my makeup because I filmed my wrap-up today as well. And I'm wearing mascara and I think it's flaking a little bit and getting in my eyes, so I just want to wash my face for the night. So that's where I am. I won't be reading any more of Two Towers tonight, and I'm only going to be listening to Salt to the Sea for a little bit longer just while I'm finishing up my laundry and washing my face and getting ready for bed and the like. So that's pretty much it for the night for me. So I won't be checking in again just because I won't have any like significant reading updates. I'm not going to be, I might start and finish Vampire Night tonight, but I'm not 100% certain if I'll get that much reading done. So I will just wait until tomorrow, hopefully, to update you all. So I will chat with you then. It is now day 2 of the OWLs, and I have my first book finished. I finished Vampire Knight Volume 5 last night. This is my arithmancy prompt, which was to read a book that's outside of your normal, like, favorite genre, so a little outside of your comfort zone. I've only ever read these graphic novel, or these are mangas. I've only ever read these mangas, so still getting used to the format and all that stuff, but enjoyed seeing where the story is going. Giving this a 3-star rating. I think I've given them all a 3-star rating, so good to see where the story is going and see how it's going to be wrapped up. We got 14 more volumes to go before I find that out, but that's going pretty well. So I'm glad to, this was my goal anyway, was to get my manga done first. That way I actually feel like I'm ahead of the game, because I knew I could read it in a day or two. So it feels good to have one prompt done already. So 11 more to go. I also made it to today's section, or through today's section in Two Towers. So characters are being brought back together after getting separated and things like that. Chapter 4 was the chapter with the Ents, where we meet Treebeard, and they have their gathering to decide what they're gonna do in this war. So that was great, just to be brought back into the world more, and I really like the Ents, so it was fun to get to read about them again. So that's going well. And then I started listening to Salt to the Sea by readathon last night, and I haven't had a chance to listen to any more of that today. I might. Actually, I probably won't listen to it anymore today. So I'll need to make some progress on that tomorrow. It's kind of my audiobook, because I like to listen to audiobooks for as much of the day as possible. So I listen to them while I'm working and doing the dishes and chores and all those sorts of things. And since I'm doing a buddy read of The Two Towers with my friend Rainey, I would normally just listen as long as I can, but since we've got it divided into sections of about 60 pages, so 2 or 3 chapters a day, once I hit where we're supposed to be, it's nice to have another audiobook to be able to jump into and continue listening while I'm doing things. That way I feel like I'm utilizing my reading time as best as possible. I don't have it with me. It's already on the dresser in our bedroom, but I am going to start Gossip Girl Tonight by Cicely von Ziegler, which is my Muggle Studies book, which the prompt for this is to just read a book that takes place from a Muggle's point of view, so a contemporary. So that's what I'm using that for. It's also a short book. I'm hoping I can get a good chunk of it read tonight. I did do a page breakdown yesterday of all of my physical and ebooks that I need to read, and I padded it with, I think, 250 pages, because Divination, I haven't picked my book for yet. I don't know what it's going to be. It's just going to be a continuation of a series, so I don't know what format or anything. So I figured that if I padded it by 250 pages, it'd give me a good idea of how many pages I need to read each day. And I want to say it was between 50 and 60, but last night I started and finished Vampire Knight, which was 196 pages. So I'm good to go. So I don't need to stress myself out if I don't get 50 pages read tonight. But that's going to be my plan. We'll see how it works, but that's going to be it for right now, and I probably won't check in again tonight, so I will definitely check in tomorrow when I've done more reading. yesterday, even though I did get quite a bit of reading done, but I was cleaning the house, made some brownies, and watched the second To All the Boys I've Loved Before movie, and then just sat on the couch and read. And I actually finished Gossip Girl by Cicely von Ziegler. So I officially have 2 prompts finished, so 10 more to go, and I'm still in the middle of 2 as well. I think today in Two Towers, Rainey and I are supposed to get through chapter 11, but I know Rainey had a rough day yesterday, so she didn't get yesterday's reading done. And because I'm at home with Sky today, I'm not going to have a lot of time for audiobook. I will be out in my garden, but I think my mom and dad are going to come over and help in the garden. So if I were just alone, I would listen to my audiobook, but since I'll be spending time with them, I won't be listening to it, obviously. But I did get chapter 9 read through, so I've got 2 more to go for today. And then I'm also still listening to Salt to the Sea. Yesterday I got a decent chunk read. We're progressing in the story a lot more now. I like 3 of our points of views. There's a 4th one I don't like. So we've got 2 German boys, Florian and Alfred, something with an A. We have a Lithuanian young adult girl named Joanna, and then we have a young Polish girl who's 15 named something with an A, not Abigail. I don't remember her name. And I like the Lithuanian girl, the Polish girl, and the German boy named Florian. Florian's backstory is the most mysterious, though there was just a big kind of plot reveal about the young Polish girl. But basically, the 3 of them, not the other German, he's an actual German soldier, have Joanna's been traveling with a group of people, and the 3 of them have kind of like merged their group a little bit. Florian's trying really hard to shake them, but he just can't. And basically what they're doing is trying to make their way to the coast so that they can get on a boat and get out of where the Russians are mainly like targeting right now. So they're trying to get to safety and stuff like that. And I think their story is gonna merge with the German soldiers here pretty soon, because I think the boat that they're gonna be on is the boat that he's not captaining. What he's just, he's on. So that's an interesting story so far. Getting, I guess, a little different perspective of World War II than what I would normally get while reading stories that take place on mainland Europe. I feel like a lot of the stories I read take place in France. There's a sparrow outside my window. Take place in France. And this, I think we are, they keep calling it Prussia. So I'm not entirely sure like which territory specifically they're in or which country specifically they're in. But it's a little different from what I'm used to reading, so it's kind of nice to get a take on the story from that point of view a little bit. But I don't think I'll probably be listening to Salt to the Sea today, as any audiobook time I get in will be to work towards getting Two Towers done. But I'm going to take you outside and show you my garden and what I'll be doing today, just because I figured it'd be nice to mix it up a little bit so it's not just a strict reading vlog. Let me know if you like them to be reading vlogs only and like only book updates and things like that, or if you like a little bit of like life mixed in, because I can do that some weeks. Most weeks it really is, and especially right now it really is just me in the house. But with spring coming up, there's going to be a lot more like yard projects and things like that. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. If not, I'll try not to include them like after this vlog. But let's go outside and take a look at what today's project is. Does anyone else have a dog who acts like a cat and sits on the back of the couch? I know one of my parents' dogs used to do this, but Aoife does it all the time, and Ronan will like put his upper half. That's really rude. Ronan will put his upper half on the couch and hang over it and lay his head down and stare at us. But he doesn't, I mean, he's too big to lay up there, but let me know. This is my little garden I have blocked from the dogs. That's the one I put the most effort into. Obviously, there's some weeding and stuff that needs to be done. There's a little tiny gap between our chain link and the black fence, and Aoife can sneak through there, and she likes to get on the wall and stare over into my parents' yard. But you can see that this brick wall is leaning significantly. So I know what we're gonna do is probably pull 2 layers down. The whole point of it is to help keep this brush from my neighbor out. But I've heard that they really want to clear this section, so that would be nice if they got to it this year. But take 2 layers down, then Aoife can't stand and think about jumping over the fence. And I think from these bricks, I am over here. Grass is overgrown, it's getting mowed today. I have one plant right here that's getting choked out by grass, and I think my brother's dog might have bitten it down. If not, it was one of my dogs. But basically, this section right here, that's the gate that leads to my parents' house. This section right here, I think I want to use those bricks and build a little vegetable garden. But so far today, it's going to be taking down those bricks and weeding and giving my garden a little TLC. So that's what it'll look like. If we get everything done today, I'll show you. If not, maybe tomorrow. I guess if I can get in here. It's all overgrown with grass. And I just broke the fence. Okay. So this I picked up at an antique store, and someone built it. So obviously it's just a Ferris wheel. But what I do with it is I've got these plants. These are hyacinths. They're the only ones that bloom in the spring. But like this mother hen and chick will come back. That's just moss in the bottom too. And then we've got some other succulent types here. This one is a hosta, but those will come back. But what I do is I've got these fairy figures that I put in here, so I've got a little fairy garden. So if I pull those out today, I'll show you those as well, but obviously this needs to be cut back and stuff. So I'll check in with you here in a little bit. So I just got my taxes filed, and it was a pain this year because I refinanced my house, and one of the things just wasn't going in properly. But got that done. So happy to have that checked off the list. I'm gonna pay some bills now, and then get to editing this video. I think my dad also wanted to do his taxes today, and he likes to use my computer. So I'm going to let him know that it's up for use if he wants it today. And if not, I am going to start editing this vlog. I will run outside really quickly and just show you what the garden is looking like, and then give just a quick update about books before I sign off. So let's go take a look at the garden. Alright, so this is it. We took a row down, but you can see now it's all nice and straight, And I also, my mom gave me these things. I call them crocuses. I know that's not their name, and she calls them lucifers, which I don't think they're the lucifers, but I put those back here. Hopefully they're not going to get too hot with the brick wall. And then I have this other plant, the stick thing, I think I might have showed you, that keeps getting covered by grass, and my brother's dog or my dog broke it off, so I moved it in here. And then over in this corner where Aoife girl used to like to sneak in, she can't anymore. And then I'll show you where the vegetable garden's gonna go. So this is my other corner garden that is just a nightmare right now because the dogs like to run into it and dig in it and bark at the neighbors. Nice and trashy house over there. So what I'm gonna do, I've got a couple extra bricks that I am going to, I'll obviously need to buy more, but yeah, we're gonna square this off a little bit and build it up and put vegetables in here. So that's a plan for another time. Alright, so wrap up for the week. I finished I'm From the Sun, The Last Days of Magic, Vampire Night Volume 5, and Gossip Girl. So the 3 books I currently have going that I'm going to carry over to next week are The Two Towers, which is an audiobook and a buddy read. Also Salt to the Sea, which is an audiobook. And then last night I kind of started the Salish System, the 2 short stories that kind of go with the Elantris novel by Brandon Sanderson, which those are like 132 pages, those 2 stories together. And I'm gonna use that to count as my potions exam. So for a book under 150 pages, I was originally gonna read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, but in March I was supposed to read The Hope of Elantris and the other one that I can't remember, which are the 2 short stories in the Salish System. And I didn't get to them in March, so I figured that because I wanted to read those just to go along with the Cosmere read-along before I start the Final Empire, that I could use those to count for my potions prompt. So 3 books in the works, 2 audiobooks, 1 physical book. And overall, I feel like I did really well to wrap up March, and with the first week, almost a full week, of the OWL's Magical Readathon. So feeling very accomplished. I'm glad to have 2 prompts under my belt already, which means I only have 10 more to go. And let's hope that this good reading continues on into next week. But I would really love to know if you also are participating in the OWLs, what you're going for career-wise. I probably said it at the beginning, but I'm going for Alchemist this year. So I'd just love to know what career you're pursuing and what books you've read so far. If you finished any of the courses, let me know. Would just love to chat with you about everything reading. And likewise, if you've read any of these books that I mentioned this week, do let me know, and I will chat with you down in the comments until my next video. Bye!